names, photographs, and persons depicted on Fugitive Watch are presumed to be innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey, welcome, Fugitive Watch. I'm Mark Inch. I don't know.
I'm just kind of curious how much of that conversation people heard. Were we live?
Oh, you know what? I've got my.
We're talking about me going to Sweden for that operation.
Yeah,
I had the audio looping through. I could hear myself. I don't think anyone heard what we were talking about before we went live. Frank, did you hear what we were talking about? Frank wants to know. Frank, we were talking smack about you before we went live. Did you hear that? No.
got all the way to Sweden. Found out I was $1 short on that operation.
Okay, a little short there. We're talking about Steve, actually. Hey, August 19th. You know, my dad would be 103 if he was still around. World War II vet.
Happy heavenly birthday to your dad, Mark.
103. Anyway, thank you. All right. Hey, it's Fugitive Watch live stream. I'd never tell you anyway. I think we were live the whole time.
I think so.
No, we weren't. Yeah. Frank says, yeah, I'm a little short right now. Okay. Right. Okay. Anyway, Frank, we weren't talking about you. But man, it's hot. I'm gonna put my fan on. You guys let me know if you hear it. You hear that fan?
Nope.
Okay. It's hot out here. Out here in the studio with all these studio lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Badass. The studio's badass. Check it out. I got a lot of stuff out here, man.
A lot of computers.
Okay. Hey, we'll get going here. We'll get talking. So we got fugitive.com, Scott and Steve at fugitive.com. You can find all the cool stuff. Scott's running the Instagram page. You're up to like 15,000 on Instagram now or something like that?
No, we're at like 12.6. We'll be at 12.7 probably by tonight.
Pretty soon we'll be getting that gold little emblem from them.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And then if you want to find me, you can find me at stolen911.com. I have some videos coming out at the end of the week, I think, at my YouTube channel. So you can see that. All right, let's take a look at, I have no idea what order these are in.
We need you in Oakland, Mark.
Yeah, we need you in Oakland. We're gonna
pulling cars in Oakland.
We're gonna start in Seattle. Let's watch this.
The moment a man in a wheelchair was shot and survived on the Seattle waterfront. Take a look. That was the scene on July 31st when a 68-year-old man in a wheelchair was shot in the chest after being accused of pretending to be a member of the military. Police say when the charged gunman demanded military ID, the victim pulled a knife and then an airsoft gun, prompting the suspect to pull the real gun and fire. Attorneys for the suspected gunman claim it was self-defense, but prosecutors say it doesn't apply if you start the fight. The suspect now faces felony assault charges and is held on $750,000 bail while the victim remains hospitalized.
What's going on? That stolen valor stuff's a big deal. What happened here?
Well, the man is a legitimate Navy veteran, did like 14 or 15 years in the submarine service, and I guess that's like a tourist area there, and he was performing music or something for money, and the guy challenged him as being a person who's pretending to be a veteran. And the man is really a veteran, and he ripped according to the newscast, you can actually see it on the video. He stole the man's patch that says he's a veteran, took it off his wheelchair, and the man was arguing with him and says he was getting his ID out to show that he was a real retired veteran, and the guy with the gun that shot him said he pulled a knife and an airsoft gun and wound up shooting him.
Did he pull an airsoft gun?
According to the man in the wheelchair, he had an airsoft gun in a holster and said he was getting it out of the way so he could reach for his ID, and but he did not pull the gun out of the holster. And but according to the district attorney there in Seattle, Washington, says that you cannot use self-defense when you're the one that started the the fight.
So the guy who was making the claims, the guy was not a veteran, is the one that's being charged.
Right.
Is that a stand
Good.
your ground state?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they are. No.
I don't necessarily mind standing your ground, and in some cases, but yeah, I mean that stolen valor. Have you guys ever watched those videos on YouTube? That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. But this guy apparently has got some issues, because I watched another news article where he was arrested in Florida previously.
The guy who shot him.
The guy who shot the man in the wheelchair.
Okay.
Right. He was arrested previously in Florida for running into some protesters with his car, and got it plea bargained down to a simple assault.
What were they protesting?
Some kind of political protest.
I just have a guess or two. Was he a veteran? Do we know if he was a veteran himself?
That I don't know. They did not cover that. I watched several newscasts and nobody ventured into that territory.
Okay, all right.
He wasn't killed though, obviously.
No, he survived, because I saw an interview. He was eventually released from the hospital. He's home now recovering.
All right, let's check out this Walmart stabbing spree. We'll talk about it afterwards. So let's watch this.
To throw her to the ground, then chase another customer. Authorities say it was just the start of last month's stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart. The 360-degree video paused and rotated by authorities in Traverse City. The next target, this man in blue. The suspect, identified as 42-year-old Bradford Gilley, then appears to jab his right hand at that man in the jacket, who goes flying. Moments later, you see Gilley run left into the pharmacy before appearing to stab someone in frozen foods. This man attacked by a display of cherries. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, victim Aaron Bedeau says he was shopping with his wife and 4 kids when he was attacked.
I thought I was being punched. And after the third one, I noticed that, okay, this isn't a punch. I'm being stabbed.
As a dad, as you're being stabbed, are you just thinking about your kids there?
Really, the only thing that was on my mind when I was being stabbed is like, is my wife safe and are my kids safe? And I knew that I was shielding them.
Gilley, moments later, seen running to the parking lot, attacking this woman from behind. Cell phone video later captured a crowd corralling Gilley until authorities came. Investigators say all 11 victims survived. Gilley's pleaded not guilty to assault and terrorism charges. Court records show he has a history of mental health issues. Tonight, investigators releasing these photos showing blood in the pharmacy produce section near a display of Oreos. The chilling aftermath of a terrifying attack. Maggie Vespa, NBC News.
We thank you for.
Wild. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean this reporter
laughing
near the display of Oreos, and the blood is in it, and attack next to the cherry display.
I did like, yeah, I thought about that as.
But you got to give.
I didn't laugh like you.
You got to give it to the bystanders in both this case and the previous case. The bystanders formed up and detained the suspect until the police arrived.
Did that one guy? There was a guy there. Did he have a gun on the guy?
I don't know if he had a gun on him, but in the Seattle, Washington case, when the guy shot the guy in the wheelchair, you could see. I saw a newscast where citizens were actually patting the guy down. They had him spread eagle. They took his gun away from him and held him for the police.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes you think about people that can carry. That's the point where you're going to be wishing you had your gun with you if you're carrying, because that guy was just stabbing whoever he wanted to stab. That lady running out the door.
Yeah. What a jerk.
And and the thing is, it's like, I think we did a story last week on that guy that was stabbed and then he got back on his bike, rode to work, and ended up dying, the older gentleman. And I know that in my career, I saw that happen a lot of times. I get there and you go, dude, you're bleeding. And you pull their shirt up and they have multiple stab wounds, and they had no idea that they had been stabbed in the middle of a fight. And one time I was trying to get this guy, he was at a Jack in the Box trying to order from the drive-through window, but he walked up and he was kind of drunk. And I walked up, dude. Yeah, I'm like, dude, you got to go. You got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. And I look at his back and I see blood. And I look, sure enough, this dude had been stabbed like 4 times in the back. and he's standing in there trying to order those
Two
freaking
tacos,
flat
99 cents
tacos.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Now
And
they're
I'm like,
$1.99.
I go, you know, you've been stabbed.
Oh,
So
now I know. Now I know where I'm going after this stream.
Oh, Scott and I had a case where we had a gunshot victim that didn't know he had been shot, right? He had been shot in the head
Well,
or
like you
neck
said, the
or
guy
something.
thought he'd been punched, and then he realized he'd been stabbed.
yes,
Yeah, so that your adrenaline's going too. You don't know what's going on. Then, yeah, he's obviously got issues. Next time I go to Walmart, man, I may think twice if I go in unarmed or not. I don't
yeah.
know.
Well,
Go to one. I don't know.
that's always like that when you go in Walmart. It's always
Or the,
Don't say that. You know, Walmart's got a lot of lawyers.
or the DMV.
You're gonna see people there wearing their pajamas, going through the aisles. You know,
It's just like the DMV.
DMV. Yeah, remember the post office back in the day?
Yeah,
All the post offices are a dangerous place to go. You don't hear about this anymore.
but those are from the workers.
All right, Reno. We're going to Reno now. We're going to Reno. We got a casino shooting.
9423.
Right here.
That's some distance there.
look at those rounds. Grass.
It's a miracle no bystanders were killed.
Hold fire, cease fire.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna want your long rifle for this. A shot like that, right? Guy's got a shotgun there to the right.
Hold fire, hold fire, hold fire. He's down. We got security on the back door. Hold fire.
Right.
Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
Down.
Where's the gun? Gun's right here. Gun's right here. Gun.
What's
Now
the
again,
deal?
I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking by any means. I wasn't there, but I know that when you get, and Steve, you've been in a lot more shootings than I have, it becomes that feeding frenzy thing where you see all these guys and I noticed a lot of those guys weren't taking cover. They were just standing out in the open and shooting, and they're shooting pistols at a pretty good distance. And the one thing that people have to understand, bad guys don't care about where their bullets go. They don't care. But you own those bullets, and we've seen too many times where those bullets end up hitting something that wasn't what you wanted to hit, that background. But I mean, all in all, they did get the guy, and there was no report of any citizens, I guess, being
There's 4 officers in Florida who are facing murder charges in a shootout with kidnappers because of a the hostage and bystander that were killed in the shooting, and the DA charged the officers.
Okay.
And same thing on this one here. Same thing. God bless these officers. They're heroes in my book. But, you know, I want to remind all my brothers and sister officers out there, conceal, cover, and accurate return fire. And I don't know why those officers ran out in the open like that. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know why they ran out in the open like that. But that is tactically in the academy. I would advise against that.
I wasn't there.
I have to apologize.
Maybe they saw him go down or something, you know. But
Yeah, like I said, I don't know, but I just want to remind brothers and sister officers out there: conceal, cover, and accurate return fire.
There's 2 videos here of the sheriff. Are they the same thing? Sheriff using a taser?
Yeah, I think one's a newscast and one is the raw video from the body cam.
All right, let's watch this. San Francisco sheriff.
Okay.
Is it the sheriff or a sheriff's deputy?
The sheriff.
All right,
The sheriff himself.
Let's watch. Scott, you leaving or what?
Yeah, well, you know what? When I started, remember, it used to stay dark. I mean, it was light, and now it's getting dark. Sorry,
This is a
guys.
tour of Scott's house. Show us the bar while you're walking by. Would you please? Thank you. I thought I got scared there for a second. I thought you were bringing us in the bathroom.
No, and
Like,
I'm
wow, you're
I'm
getting
sorry.
really comfortable. You're getting really
And I-
comfortable here.
Yeah, and I apologize because I'm taking care of.
I'm getting dizzy.
I know I'm taking care of two animals. One of them's a freaking invalid,
Oh
and
yeah.
then the
look at
other
that.
and the other one just won't
Leave you
settle
alone.
down. And I can't. If I put him in the other room, then he's gonna bark, and then it's really gonna annoy everybody. So anyway, let's just forget
Let us
all
know.
that. All this.
You let
just
us know. You
happened.
let us know when you're ready.
I'm trying. This guy won't stop. Okay. All right, I'm back.
Wait.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
Frank's got something to say. I was wondering. Wait. So Mark, I was wondering if she even knows that his glasses really. You know that she signed. How come I didn't see it on yours? So Mark, I was
I
wondering.
think the shiny glasses on when I think what he's saying is when Steve is in front of his computer, you can see.
Oh
So
yeah.
he can't. You can see his, but you don't see the glare off your glasses.
Look at Frank pointing out the technical things, right?
That's Frank though. I know
Yeah,
him.
that's. I
what
think
he
Frank.
does.
You know what it is, Frank? Steve's monitor is directly in front of him, where mine are off to the side, and so I'm looking kind of off to the side, where Steve's like, just old man looking straight into the monitor like this, like
Yeah, and I actually have a light right in front of
there.
me.
Yeah, you're right. Good job there, Frank. Good
Shining
job.
right at me.
All right, are we all set though? We got Frank settled with the glasses. Dogs are ready. The lighting's set.
I'm
I think
set.
we're good, right? Now
Sorry.
we're gonna watch a video
All right.
of the sheriff
let's do that.
tasing the shit out of somebody, apparently. So let's see what happens here. Ooh, nice.
Come down. Get the knife.
Good job.
Taser off. Taser off.
Scott, you've tased a couple people, haven't you?
I have.
Once or twice. Tell us about that. What's going on there?
A few times. It is a wonderful tool. I wish I had that early in my career, but by the time we got them, the nice thing is it will stop the problem. See what that guy just did? It's called planking. When you get hit like that, you go you lose it. You just go boom, straight down. I've seen.
So he wasn't doing a workout.
No, watch just plank.
Yeah.
And I tell you
Nice.
what, it's brutal. It can be really brutal on the. I've seen a few broken noses and flattened faces and people.
Did you get tased during training?
I did.
I just got the jab. I didn't do the full tase.
No, they didn't shoot. They didn't shoot us. What they did was they put the two contacts on you, and then the instructor hit
They
it.
shot the highway patrol guys, man. They shot us all.
Well,
If
they
it was, I was
asked
so
you.
senior, I was like, I ain't doing that. So I
Yeah,
remember
they
I took
offered it
the
nicely.
jab. I took the jab in my arm, but I remember the other guys were the younger guys were taking the full hits, man. And some chief came by and he took a full hit.
Well, I think I told you.
Tried to convince us all to do it. We're like, yeah, no. But
I think I told you the story of how one time one of the guys on my team, he had said, I have never used my taser. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I mean, everybody had tased somebody. And he goes, no, I've never had a chance to. That night, he actually tased 4 people all at the same time.
Wow.
They got a call. They were of a guy that was, it was a disturbance. Turns out it was the guy who was calling on his son. His son was having a problem. They're wrestling his son down to the ground. They wrestle him down to the ground. They don't want to hurt him. They're just kind of holding him, but he's fighting. He's in the kitchen. So the dad's holding him, 2 fill officers and himself. And he decides to dry stun tase. And he ends up sliding over. And everybody that was holding the guy, they all got tased. They all it went through all of them, and they all got tased. So he got 4. He got. Yeah.
well, here's the
So,
For
here's the
our
actual-
non Santa Clara County fans, fill officer is a Santa Clara County term for backup officers.
I think
backup
it's pretty
officers,
much
yeah.
everywhere. I've heard that all over the state. But
So I
let's
guess this was
go
the
ahead and,
sheriff.
When I was in Alameda County, we never heard of it till I came to Santa Clara County. Anyway, let me tell you what happened on this story, Mark.
Well, I got the actual story right here.
Cool. All right,
yeah, let's watch that.
It's pretty rare. I can't remember the last time I've heard of something like this happening. Mike, the sheriff tells me that San Francisco police put out the call looking for a sheriff's deputy with a taser to help resolve the situation. And the sheriff says he was in the right place at the right time. It's not unusual to see law enforcement take a suspect into custody on San Francisco's streets. What is unusual is when Sheriff Paul Miyamoto himself is among those helping to detain that suspect.
We deployed our taser discharge and brought him down with the tasers and was able to secure him physically without
badge number one.
San Francisco police say they responded to an armed suspect threatening another person near Sacramento and Polk in the city's Tenderloin district shortly before 7 a.m. Monday. SFPD and the sheriff's office confirm that suspect walked away from responding officers. Investigators say he refused to drop his weapon and wandered for about a half mile to 6th and Clementina south of Market. Parts of the efforts to capture that suspect were posted to X by user JJ Smith. In videos of the encounter, you can hear officers clearing the area and repeatedly ordering the man to stop, which he did not do. Sheriff Miyamoto said officers tried to de-escalate the situation, but it didn't work.
That JJ Smith, his Twitter profile is pretty prolific. He's all over the Tenderloin and San Francisco. Follows a lot of the stuff going on downtown.
I have a question, Mark. They said they were asking if anybody was in the area with the taser. Does San Francisco PD still not carry tasers?
I'm assuming that's the case. I know for a long time they weren't allowed to do it, and their supervisors wouldn't give it to them. Highway Patrol. Remember, was that Mario Woods? Remember when they all shot the 6 or 7 guys, police officers? One CHP officer with a taser would have taken that guy down with that knife in his hand, And I'm just saying, and it's not the officer's fault. Their board of supervisors, whoever controls the PD there, just never gave those officers tasers. And I'm assuming that's still the case. I don't know.
Well, see, and this is a classic example why that tool was necessary.
Let me fill you in
here. Steve, no one wants to hear from you right now.
The city, they rescinded their ban on the officers carrying the tasers.
Okay,
but they have not funded any money to buy tasers or train officers in tasers.
So it has been rescinded. That's good.
But they still have not issued any tasers, and they haven't authorized any money to buy tasers or to train officers in tasers.
I'm glad to see things turning around over there. Because I was doing a bunch of stories on their drone program, and it's amazing, how this is really turning things around over there in San Francisco. So let's finish watching this and we talk some more.
All right. Okay.
Turned out that this individual had a pair of sharpened scissors, as well as on the route he kept taking bottles and breaking them, and he also had a large,
not dull scissors, sharp scissors.
Some sort of large, like crowbar or some sort of object that could be used as a weapon as well.
San Francisco's longstanding ban on police officers carrying tasers was lifted in 2017.
There you go.
Then city leaders cut funding for officers to obtain and train with the electric stun
Someone
devices.
watched the story.
So SFPD asked the sheriff's office for an assist, and it just so happened that the sheriff himself was one of those responding to the scene. In body cam video of the incident obtained by KTVU, you can see the man appears to be stunned twice. Once from the deputy's taser, who is wearing the body cam, and on the left side of the screen, you can see Sheriff Miyamoto's taser deploy as well.
Bottom line is we're all peace officers. We're all here to protect the public, no matter what our role is. I was just fortunate to be in the right position.
Sheriff Miyamoto joined the sheriff's office in 1996 and rose through the ranks and was eventually elected sheriff in 2019. He said most of his days are filled with administrative and organizational work, but he said he'd never ask his deputies to do something he wouldn't do.
If I'm not going to have them do something I'm not willing to do myself. So putting ourselves out there in front of problems and threats and challenges is what we're supposed to do.
Now, right.
Remember all the issues they had with the previous sheriffs in San Francisco, all the scandals and stuff going on. I can't.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Mark. When I was younger, San Francisco PD, Oakland PD, along with San Jose PD, were premier agencies, law enforcement agencies. And what these commissions have, these police commissions, civilian review boards have done to SFPD and OPD, emasculating them. OPD can't chase anybody, so they have this horrible failed state of people with stolen cars smashing into 7-Elevens and jewelry stores. It's just a shame what they did to those premier agencies.
What I was watching, I was again, I'm
In
working
my
on
in my opinion, my personal humble opinion.
I was working on those stories on the drone program for San Francisco. Working auto theft in Oakland for years. Oakland's got a much bigger area than San Francisco. Don't get me wrong, but at some point, Oakland's going to get a drone program, and if they, I know that sheriff has, they're out there. And once they start launching drones from the East Side Mall over the East Ridge Mall, whatever it's called over there, where the police substation is, that's going to be a game changer. When they have the proper units that can respond to that stuff.
But Mark, a drone, it's not going to do any good. Their recent study that they paid a lot of money to have says that they need 877 more police officers.
I did. You didn't. Like I said, eventually when they get these things up in control,
if you don't have
however they end up doing it, either hiring more officers or the state takes over the whole friggin' town.
Well, they're not going to have to, because I heard that they're next on the list for National Guard, because we're going to be military rather than police anyway. So,
but anyway, I'm saying at some point in the future, 100 years, 50 years, there's going to be drones over Oakland, and it will take care of it. I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on now, but eventually, you're seeing stuff turn around in San Francisco. You actually are. You're seeing things getting taken care of now with the right prosecution and the right enforcement of crime, and the politics have changed too. People have gotten very progressive. People got fed up with the crime, and the business owners have been yelling enough where I think things are starting to turn in San Francisco a little bit. Oakland will eventually, like LA. I mean, every night now you go watch a chase in LAPD. They weren't doing that for a long time. So you'll see things will get things go in cycles.
The voters want it too, because look what they did. They voted out Pamela Price as that crappy DA that they had, in my opinion, in Alameda County.
And the party that supports her is guilty of this. They got to nominate candidates that are not going to go that far to one side.
No, their new DA, she rescinded the Pamela Price's ban on charging these guys with enhancements and the 2 or 3 strikes, and sending these guys to prison.
Right. Hey, Tony says hi. Tony, I know you came on a while ago, but Tony's joined us now.
Hey, Tony.
And,
hey, Tony.
All right, let me get the right one here going. We are going to, I think we're going over to Maui. Let's watch this real quick here.
Oh, this is sad.
Yeah, this is sad.
It's being called a profound tragedy that's left the Maui Police Department heartbroken. An officer was shot and killed in the line of duty last night. First shooting death of an officer on the island in nearly 70 years. Stephen Florino has the story.
A day later, all the evidence gone from a deadly shooting at the Paia sugar mill. But healing will take time.
Our department is hurting bad. We're all hurting real bad, but we're not broken.
Maui police say Officer Suzanne Oh shot and killed last night responding to a terroristic threatening call. Police say an unknown individual trespassed onto the property and started shooting, including at the responding officers. They say Oh was hit and died from her injuries.
We're a smaller department and we're a smaller community, and we really do genuinely care about each other. And we live and die for each other, and that's been proven.
Anytime a law enforcement officer is killed in the line of duty, everybody takes pause and it just feels sad that such a tragedy has to occur.
In a statement, Maui Mayor Richard Bisson said, "We grieve MPD's incomprehensible loss, calling O a true hero who dedicated her life to serving others with courage and honor." O was a 5-year veteran on the force. Officials say she was praised for her professionalism, courtesy, and tact. She was even honored for her work during the Lahaina wildfire.
Just an incredible person. She just such a big heart, such a beautiful smile, such a happy person, and always willing to help people. She loved serving the community and helping people.
This is just another example of how law enforcement officers are out there every single day protecting our community and in an instant, a life could be taken.
Shopo leaders say it takes a special person to be a police officer because at times it can feel like a thankless job.
You're out there serving, risking your life for people who half the time don't even like you. A lot of times they don't like you. They don't care about you. They could, they don't like us. But we will be out there risking our lives for them every single day.
So they're asking for support from the community as they mourn the loss of someone who always supported the community.
She served her community better than anyone could possibly serve their community. And she died for the community. And please don't ever forget her.
Stephen Florino, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
Yeah, that's a tragic story. 70 years, no shootings.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been 70 years since they lost somebody, but that's, you think of it, the land of paradise. You don't think of that. But
yeah. I've never been to Maui, but I understand it's one of the smaller of the islands. There have been more recent officers killed in some of the bigger islands. But apparently in Maui, it's been quite a while.
Wow. All right, let's go over to this is about our pro law agent that was shot and killed here in Oakland.
An emotional procession in Oakland this afternoon, honoring the California parole agent shot and killed on duty yesterday. Firefighters saluting from an overpass on I-580 as officials escorted his body to Sacramento. Our Devin Feely is here with what we're learning about that person and the suspect's troubling past.
And it was a solemn procession held for the father and father of three who was killed while doing his job. Officer Joshua Lamont Bird is seen here in a photo from a fundraiser that was set up for his family. He joined the Department of Corrections as a cadet in 2014. In 2020, he was promoted to sergeant and joined the Oakland Adult Parole Office as a parole agent last October. Bird was shot and killed yesterday inside of that office on Edgewater Drive, that is just across 880 from the Coliseum. A law enforcement source says the suspect, who was out on parole, walked in with a gun. A security guard nearby reported hearing 2 gunshots. Bird was rushed to Highland Hospital in Oakland, where he later died. Today, law enforcement officials lined up outside the Alameda County Coroner's Bureau in Oakland around 1 o'clock this afternoon. They saluted as his casket, draped in an American flag, was brought to a waiting hearse. Multiple law enforcement agencies lined the route along I-580 and 80. It ended in Sacramento at East Lawn Funeral Home. Governor Gavin Newsom called Bird's death a heartbreaking loss. It is the first death in the line of duty at the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation since 2018. We're also learning more about the suspect arrested in that killing. CHP has identified him as 48-year-old Brian Hall of Oakland. Alameda County court records show that Hall has a lengthy rap sheet with charges.
Now, do you guys understand why the CHP is handling this?
Because it was a state building.
State building, correct.
Robbery in 1996. In 2022, he pled no contest to assault with a deadly weapon for an unprovoked stabbing in Oakland. He was released in February earlier this year. The shooting set off an hours-long search for Hall, according to law enforcement sources. He got on a bus at a stop across the street, threatened the driver. He was then...
You're going to see several detectives there. I got a CHP plainclothes guy here in a vest. And then you have the detective down here. The CHP has a full-time shooting team now ever since they took over all the freeway shootings. They burn out a lot of detectives because they're on shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting. I mean, constantly. And these guys are becoming very, very well versed in shooting investigations, which is a big difference from 10, 15 years ago.
Dropped off somewhere in East Oakland, where he allegedly stole a car and abandoned it at 79th and International. Officers later found the handgun allegedly used in the killing dumped in a garbage can in the area.
That's a sad one. He just joined in 2014.
Yeah, he this case, Mark, the suspect was charged with he was facing actually 12 years in prison. If the previous DA had not banned charging him with enhancements and prior strikes, he would have gotten 12 years in prison. because the previous DA Price wouldn't let them charge him with enhancements or previous strikes, he got 4 years, which meant he did half time. He only did 2 years versus 12 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
No reason that guy should have been out.
No reason he should have been out. He was only
Just
out.
the look on him,
days.
the felony ugly look on him, right?
He was only out days. And
right, Scott? Right, Scott?
Yeah, and for the civilian public out
feel-
there, Mark, CDC employees, our correctional officers and parole officers are the unsung heroes of law enforcement. They deal with the worst of our society, toe to toe, every single day on a close up, and that's what they have to do. That is what they face every day when they go to work.
All right, we have some story here of the school shooting. Officers killed in I'm sorry, not school shooting, in a shooting release. I don't know the story, and I apologize.
Yeah, Brian, we just saw the motorcade, the following vehicles leave this medical examiner's office in Taylorsville, following the two hearses as they bring the two officers who were killed in the line of duty just last night up north to
This is
Box
the one
Elder
in
and Cache
Utah, right?
counties.
This is in
Tonight,
Utah, yes.
we know the names and we know the faces of the two officers who were shot to death last night. We want to show them to you now. Sergeant Lee Sorensen and Officer Eric Estrada. Sergeant Sorensen joined the Tremont and Garland Police Department 16 years ago. Officer Estrada just joined them earlier this year. We are thinking of their families. We're thinking of their loved ones, their colleagues, and their surrounding communities at this time tonight. We're bringing you team coverage covering this tragedy and all that's transpired since as we head into here, ABC4 News at 6 o'clock. We have our Mackenzie Diaz, who's telling us more about the two officers killed, speaking with loved ones, telling us a little bit about the people that they were. ABC4's Brian Wang, in the meantime, is
What happened, Mark, is the
suspected gunman.
Go ahead.
Police received several 911, what we call 911 hang-up calls from this address, and they responded to investigate the 911 hang-up calls. And most of the time, it's just kids playing with a phone or something like that. But apparently, according to witnesses, the suspect had allegedly slammed his wife's head into a door frame. And I guess she was calling for help, calling 911, and he was apparently allegedly taking the phone away from her, and was waiting for the officers with a high-powered rifle and shot them as soon as they arrived on the scene. And a third officer, who was a backup officer from the Sheriff's Department, Box Elder Sheriff's Department, he arrived, and he and his canine were both shot. But he and the canine survived.
Wow.
And again, according to witnesses, a neighbor, after he shot all three of these officers, was able to talk the guy into putting the gun down.
Oh, okay. All right, so now we're going to the Texas chainsaw attack murder, Steve.
Yes, this is one of our old white whales that we've been searching for.
Okay.
Monday, 4/26/2010 at 11:12 a.m.
This is a recording of 911 call.
Yes, I'm in front of 1024 Shadowwood. I'm a U.S. Postal Service city carrier, and it seems to be a body in the street cut up. It looks like a body, the head coming off.
My God.
The body.
Okay, is it 1024 Shadowwood?
1024 Shadowwood Lane
Okay.
in Louisville.
And it's in the street?
The body's in the street, is bleeding, is decapitated.
Wow. Can you imagine?
I know.
It's just laying right here in the street.
This is a person, not an animal, right?
No, this is a person.
Oh my God.
Okay. And it looks like it's been, like somebody, it's been stabbed or?
His body is mutilated. It has a blue sheet wrapped around the bottom. It looks like it's a female because it still has a bra on it. The head's to the side. The head's completely off the body.
So it's covered by a.
The bottom part of the body is covered with a blue sheet. You can see the feet, you can see the body, and you can see the head. The head is to the side. There's blood splattered in the street.
I mean, just yeah,
Okay.
they're rushing out there, right? At this
Shadow
point.
Lane, correct?
Yeah, officers en route.
Okay, and your name, sir?
Imagine getting that
Jeremiah
call.
Gonzalez. I work for the USPS in Louisville. I'll stay here until the police get here. If they're gonna get here soon.
Oh yeah, they're on their way.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
they're
you didn't see
coming.
anybody leaving the area.
Yeah,
or-
right now, right in front of the. I'm actually.
I don't mean to
didn't
laugh.
see the body
Wow,
myself.
that
I
is
hit
surreal.
10:24. I walked through the lawn and I hit 10:20, and in front of the building right here in 10:20, there's actually a doors open to the address. There's blood in front with hair, and there's a vacuum. There's like a person cutting that was gonna cut the tree down.
Okay, so the 1024 shot with the house, the front door is open.
No, 10:20. In
Oh,
front of the address
10:20.
I'm in,
Okay.
10:20. The front door is wide open. There's blood in the front lawn. There's hair in the front lawn, and in front of this address, there's also a company from Flower Mound.
Well,
And
poor
he's the one that when I
dispatcher
passed,
trying to
he
keep this
actually
straight.
pointed out, "What's that over there?" And then I walked over and I realized that it was a body.
She's just typing "oh shit" on the computer right now.
Yeah. Poor
What the
dispatcher.
hell?
You know she's got PTSD
I'm trying to get
and the
over there.
postal worker.
Okay, and you said the guy, there's a neighbor that kind of showed it to you. Is he
No,
still out
it's a
there?
company. It's
Oh, a company.
Baronet Excavation from
Okay.
Flower Mound, Texas.
Okay, is he
They're
still
in
there?
front. He's still here.
He's still
No,
there?
he left.
Yeah, he was still here.
But he
He
didn't.
goes,
see
"I gotta
anything
go."
in there.
He has his
I'm
chainsaw
sorry, this
running.
is
He
so
just walked
weird.
To the side. I don't see if I see him.
You guys covered this story on Fugitive?
He was here.
Yes, we did.
Still here. I
And
don't see him now.
And he's at what address again?
We're in front of 1020. He was in front of the building. I don't see him now.
Okay. But is it his?
We've been searching for him for
He was
about
next to the
15
car.
years.
He was next to this vehicle over here. It has a chainsaw running. The chainsaw is still running in the back of the vehicle, but I don't see him.
So the chainsaw is sitting in the back of the vehicle,
the
just
chainsaw
running.
actually, the chainsaw has blood on it.
Still there.
The chainsaw has blood on it?
Yeah, the chainsaw has blood on it. I don't see him now.
Okay, and I'm sorry, give me the company name again.
It's Baronet, BARNETT Excavation, Flower Mound,
So,
Texas.
Steve, what happens here?
Well, this is a case of domestic violence. The husband got it into his head that his wife was having an affair. They have, I think they have like 4 or 5 children together, and was just getting progressively, according to the family, was getting progressively more obsessive about her having an affair, and took the chainsaw, according to police, allegedly chased her out of the house and caught up with her and murdered her with the chainsaw. And then he fled the scene, and they have surveillance video of him going to a store to buy some odds and ends, sodas and things like that. And then he went to a used car lot and said he wanted to buy a car, and they let him take it on a test drive, and he drove.
What's the suspect's name?
His name is Jose Corona.
Yeah, let's watch the next.
C-O-R-O-N-A.
Let's watch the next part of that right here.
Okay.
I'm Cody, and this is AMW's worst case scenario. Carolina, what is your worst case scenario?
My worst case scenario is Jose Fernando Corona. Almost about a year ago, cops say that Jose Corona had a rocky relationship with his wife, and it just spiraled out of control until one day he grabbed a chainsaw and chased her out of the house. And cops say he decapitated her right outside there.
We should have started with this
So
video.
this crime happened in Louisville, Texas, but do police still think he's there in the area?
No, actually, police believe that somehow he got taken to a car dealership and he test drove a car. But the car hasn't been found. And the last time they knew of the car, it was 30 miles north of Laredo. They believe that from there he crossed into Mexico.
Of course he
So
did.
what do cops need from us to try to get him back here and into custody?
Well, first of all, they're asking for the public to call in if they see Jose Corona himself. Also, we don't know exactly who took him to the car dealership. Cops are looking to talk to that person too, because it's one of the last people to see Corona in the United States. And third of all, they're also still looking for that car that he test drove. It could have been abandoned, but we don't know exactly where.
So, Carolina, what makes Jose Corona your worst case scenario?
Well, the crime is horrific. It's straight out of a horror movie. But not only that, I mean, we need to think about that Jose Corona and Maria Corona had children. It's definitely a worst case scenario.
Well, check out all the photos of Jose Corona and photos of his truck as it passed through that checkpoint on amw.com. And don't forget to tune in next week for another edition of Worst Case Scenario.
Wow, you guys should do that.
So
Do
this
that Fugitive
guy,
Watch, worst case scenario.
so this guy goes out and he kills his wife, hacks her up, leaves the
Allegedly.
okay, allegedly.
He did it. He did it, Steve.
He did it. Leaves the chainsaw running in the back of the truck, which I was surprised we didn't hear it in the background in the 911 tape, because he did say it was still running, right?
Yeah, he sure did.
There was blood all over it.
He sure did.
And how did this guy clean up and walk into a used car place and say, I want to test drive a car? I mean, we've all seen cut up when that happened. There'd be a lot of blood.
Yeah.
There's no way he could have escaped having blood all over him. I mean, maybe he ran, took a shower. I don't know. That I can't believe that the guy.
Yeah, it looked like nobody was home except the two of the victim and the suspect. It looks like there was nobody else home, because you could hear in the 911 call, you could hear when a family member, one of the kids, get home and start screaming and crying when they see the body of the mother, you know. And if I could just say in Spanish, envíanos por favor un correo electrónico si saben su paradero at tips@fugitive.com.
Look, if I arrested this next guy, I would sue him. I think we know what we're talking about, right?
Kidding me? Get on the ground. D12, step it up. I just got kicked.
Right there, just got kicked. I got injured. I'm suing this guy.
Yeah, well, it got $170 million.
Right now, put your hands behind your back and get against the wall. Against the wall.
Ooh, love it.
Who else? The female. Taser deployed.
Nice.
Save your sorries for later. Are you kidding me? Get on the ground. D12, step it up. I just got kicked. Put your hands behind your back right now. Put your hands behind your back and get against the wall. Against the wall.
Love that guy. That was great.
The female.
That officer played football.
Save your
So what's the story behind this guy? He's apparently,
Mark, Scott, this just proves there's no karma, no justice in this world. This parolee out of prison wins almost $170 million in the lottery, and here I am using a shoestrings for a belt, you know.
Oh, come on.
You Fugitive Watch guys are rich. Free car washes for life.
Apparently this guy's he's a parolee, been in all kinds of trouble and everything else, and he'd only been out for like a few days, and he buys a lotto ticket and wins.
Yep. According to the news, he has spent 30 of his 50 years of his life in prison, and he is now has a warrant out for parole violation because he shouldn't be out of the state of Tennessee, and this occurred in Florida.
So what was going on here? Do we figure out what
he was bragging about winning the lotto, and some guy was telling him, "Oh, you're full of BS," blah blah blah, and he wound up punching the guy for not believing him, and so the resort employees called the police.
Okay. Okay, talk about who's about to make some money. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
His lawyers.
Yeah, his
His-
lawyers, true, but so what, Scott? I mean, look, man, you're gonna be if you got $167 million, you start punching people. I would hire some lawyers too. I mean, why not? I mean, that's when you just gotta learn to shut the hell up. I mean,
Yeah.
you've won in life, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't.
Well,
not,
with that kind
I'm just
of
saying.
if he's got that kind of money, then all he needs to do is just hire a bunch of lawyers. He'll be out, and then he just keeps.
Oh, he'll be out,
appealing,
but I'll guarantee you that guy he punched is going to make some money. These officers might make some money.
I vote that we pass laws that parolees cannot buy lottery tickets.
Yeah. or
I don't know.
should have,
They might. A lot of sales may drop. All right.
Well, they can buy it, but they can't win. Okay.
Are we jealous?
We're happy. Look at us. We're all happy. We don't.
You think he paid for those tattoos before he had the money, or after he had the money?
Hey, Frank and Tony, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Carmen, Steve, Carmen says she wants to talk to you about something, and I have a feeling I know what it is. I told her no, but hey, man, you guys could check out the website at fugitive.com, and you can find Scott and Steve. Steve, these people are not guilty. Guilty? What are they?
No, Mark, of course. We want to remind all of our supporters and viewers that any of the people featured on any of our platforms are to be considered innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Do not make any attempt to arrest, apprehend, or detain them. Law enforcement may consider many of these fugitives to be extremely dangerous.
All right. And then you can find me at Stolen 911. Just Google stolen911.com. Kind of specialize in theft stuff. I do have some videos coming out on my YouTube channel, I think at the end of the week. But we'll see what happens. But other than that, thanks a lot. We'll be here again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. And check out the website. Check out Scott at Instagram, Fugitive Watch. And Steve's over at the Facebook.
I want to invite everybody to come join us on Instagram and don't be shy. Make some comments. I love when the comments come out and we're having a really good time. A lot of good stories on there.
Scott, I really think that you should start doing live Instagram posts shirtless. You know, do the guns.
Make sure
do the guns, right?
Plug your OnlyFans page, Scott.
Yeah, you got OnlyFans, Scott. You have an OnlyFans page, really? But you put the dogs in there with you shirtless and start doing like broadcasts on Fugitive Watch from. Put
your glasses on.
I guarantee you'll get 100,000 followers, bro. You'll get 100,000 followers. Start doing it shirtless. The shirtless fugitive hunter. All right, that's it. I'm telling you. Tell us about your puppy there. Which dog is that? It looks like a doll, dude. Is he real?
His name is Vinny.
Oh my God.
That's a cuteness overload there.
His name is Vinny.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's like a doll. He's like an Ewok.
Yeah, he does. He does look like an Ewok.
he needed a home, and they rehomed him, and I adopted him just a week ago. And
he's beautiful.
Now he won't leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, it looks happy.
I tried to pass myself off as an Ewok one time at an Indian casino. I told him I was Indian. They asked me what tribe I was, and I told them Ewok.
Yeah. Steve, if you ever want to borrow Vinny and go out in public, he's kind of a chick.
Oh yeah, chick magnet.
Cool.
Steve, bring Vinny to Santana Row, bro. You'll clean up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Let's get it. We'll get his hair all cut so he looks,
I look like Raj from Big Bang.
Oh my God. You gotta get on it, man. You get on it. All right, guys. See you next week.
All
Bye,
right.
Vinny.
Okay.
Bye, Steve. Bye, Scott.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All names, photographs, and persons depicted on Fugitive Watch are presumed to be innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.